Welcome to another AMA with Kadena Ecosystem. In this episode, we will be speaking with the team from Linx Wallet. This conversation was recorded on January 20th, 2023, live on Twitter Spaces. The views and expressions in this AMA do not represent the views of Kadena Ecosystem directly and are not to be considered as financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research on the projects presented. Also, make sure to follow our account to be alerted of new uploads. Now let's get started. Enjoy. Welcome everybody to another AMA with Kadena Ecosystem. Today we have Linx Wallet. They are one of the new up-and-coming wallets in the Kadena ecosystem, so I'm very excited to learn more about them. So why don't we start? I always like to start off with just a brief introduction about yourself, and then I like to find out how you got involved with crypto in general, because I find people have some really cool stories. So take it away.
Yeah, okay. My name is Floor. Many people will probably know me as Floppy from the Telegram group or the Discord group. And I'm part of the team on for Linx Wallet, and that's Teenage Labs. So we exist of 3 people, very small team, very productive and efficient. Our Radu he's a software engineer. He has 10 years of experience, of which the last 7 years consulting as a software architect. And we have Raul, amazing designer, worked for a lot of big companies. Think of like BMW, Lufthansa, stuff like that. And yeah, he's just amazing. So for me, it's a little bit longer story, but I've been basically independent for a very long time in mechanical engineering, and I've been in like programming since my teenage years. I had some web shops, stuff like that, and did a lot of like hobby-like programming and inventing stuff. So that's about me. How I got into crypto. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've read about Bitcoin probably already in 2009, 2010, and I was like, that's cool. I should get into that. And I read a bit about it and actually looked at some stuff on how to mine it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna figure that out. So that's too complicated. Let's leave it for now. It's probably nothing. And then it hit like from a couple cents to $1, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. Maybe I should try again. And I looked at it again, and I thought, no, it's too complicated, and it's probably going back down to a couple cents. So don't bother. And then it went like $10 and $100. $100, I said again, okay, I really should get into this. I've missed the boat now 3 times. And I tried it. I couldn't find anything to hold on to and get into the system. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably going down again. So let's leave it. And I think 2017, early 2017, I was like, fuck that. I've been too late now for like four times in a row. I'm just going all in, and crypto is the way for me for the future. And that basically was my point into crypto. So I'm here for like 5 years now, and yeah, that's it.
Sounds like you've been your own worst enemy when it comes to crypto in the past. Just kind of
Yeah. Definitely.
there's so many people I hear that are like, oh man, I've known about Bitcoin forever, but I just never really got into it, and they're just kicking themselves. But that's just the way things go. Sometimes you're not going to see the forest for the trees that are in front of you. So
Definitely.
But you found your way, so that's good to hear. It sounds like you've found some other people that were having the same kind of ideas as you. So what brought you from Bitcoin and just crypto in general to Kadena specifically?
Yeah, so 2017 I started doing crypto, and at a pretty good time at like the beginning of the last leg of the bull run, so like last 6-7 months. And so I made pretty significant gains there. And I was like, all right, this is cool. I can see this like getting really somewhere. And I started to learn a little bit about crypto, but still it's only playing around. And After the collapse of 2018, I think I went back from, yeah, I don't know how much, maybe $12,000-13,000 to like 200 or something. And like, fuck. So now what? And uh, on that point, I actually start reading about crypto a lot, start learning about it, and I'm really getting interested in it. And I'm like, yeah, I just gotta find the right projects. And so I've tried out some projects, and maybe I don't know, maybe 2019, I bought some miners, got some nice rewards on that, and on a steady basis. And from that, I actually was looking for like tokens to get some extra gains on, and I wrote the boss on Chainlink, which was in the end a really good lucky decision. After that, I jumped into Polkadot, which also was like crazy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm invincible now. And then I saw Kadena on Bittrex, and it was like going from, I don't know what. It was very recent on Bittrex, and it was like 60 cents or something. And like, okay, that looks cool. Maybe that's like the next something special. And I think I looked on Google and I see two lines, SEC and JP Morgan. I like, fuck yeah, that's it. So I went all in on Kadena. Didn't know what to expect, and basically wrote it down to 10 cents. So that's how I found the Kadena. And after that time, I'm like, okay, now I'm stuck. Let's read about the project. And the more I read about the project, I'm getting hyped, and I'm like, this is a really steady investment. What the fuck is going on here? Why is this 10 cents? And I joined the Telegram and the Discord, and I start reading and I start talking to people, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta be crazy. There must be something somewhere that this is not like top 10 or something. So I stick with it, and in the end, yeah, it was a very wise decision, and I really it really brought me places in the end, and uh, it feels like from the start I felt like we need something more to make it easier. Everything was really complicated, and I was expecting like in the first year or the first 2 years that that yeah, okay, it will come. You know, I'm not the only one that can see the potential of this blockchain. There has to be like good developers coming in and rushing in and building amazing stuff, and wallets you can actually use, and dApps that are amazing. And yeah, it's just going to take a little bit of time, but that little bit of time took longer and longer. And basically, it annoyed me more and more. So at some point I said, okay, maybe I should build something myself, and that's how we basically started a bit.
Now, you guys originally didn't start with the idea of a wallet. You were originally wanting to
No,
build an NFT marketplace, correct?
yeah. So about 2 years ago, 1.5 year ago, I started getting into Pact. Enjoyed the process. I joined a Telegram group with Thanos and Unique and another couple of guys, and started talking about things to code and things to do. And I'm like, yeah, I think we really need a wallet. We really need a mobile experience, because I'm mobile only basically. I do everything on my mobile phone, and yeah, we need that. And I actually had like a lot of people saying, meh, mobile, crypto's not mobile. I'm like, yeah, but mobile's the future. People are gonna be like mobile. We need mobile. I need a mobile wallet. You know what? I should focus on trying to see if I can make a mobile wallet. And at that point, I first started with a Visual Studio Code plugin, which basically was just a joke. So I did that. After that, I was thinking, yeah, maybe I can get a grant and focus on building that wallet. In the end, didn't get the grant, which I definitely understand, because it's a one-man show, and that's not something you can build trust upon, especially when it comes to a wallet. you don't want to be dependent on one guy running the show. And so I did started building it, but I never really found motivation to finish it. And yeah, then I think it was October or something like that, and Kadena starts going up past $3, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna retire. It's good like this. And for a couple months I done nothing, and then I was like, yeah, we really need that wallet. So I start building it again, and I'm in some other chat groups, Kadena related chat groups, the OGs, and yeah, I'm meeting there with Radu a lot, having some technical discussions with some really great people. And someday he just DMs me and it's like, I know you're working on this wallet and you probably don't want to, but I got some NFT stuff I want to do because I really want to show what Marmalade is capable of. And but it's impossible to do it alone because usually when you develop alone, it's almost impossible to finish a project. So I say, yeah, sounds cool. Let's do it. And I think in May past year, we started building, and we quickly realized during building that we needed a wallet because there was no way to actually allow NFT trading on Marmalade without continuation transactions. So I said, yeah, you know what? In secret, I've kept developing my wallet, and we should build it and we should use it. And at that time, I think Kadena was working on a Wallet Connect implementation. I think there's like a pull request on GitHub for Kadena from April, if I recall correctly, from Mighty. So it felt like Wallet Connect was really close, and Wallet Connect was going to be the key to continuation transactions. So Radu said, "Yeah, listen, we can't focus on two projects at once. We're just with the two of us, and we should just wait for X Wallet or Chainweaver to implement X Wallet. I mean, the pull requests are there. It's not going to take long." And I said, "Okay." And then I looked at Wallet Connect for Flutter in what I was building my wallet in, and I'm like, damn, this is pretty complicated. I'm not going to do that in like 1 or 2 days. That's going to take a while to implement. So I let it go for a couple of days, and then I said, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to build something myself. So I built a quick kind of Wallet Connect like system where I could connect the phone through a QR code scanning and had an encrypted channel to the DApp, and we could do suddenly could do like anything we wanted. We could do continuation transaction, we could do normal transaction. So we had a full marketplace. So we started with that, and we actually really hoped that in the meantime a wallet would come along that allowed for the full Wallet Connect implementation and would allow for signing trading for NFTs, because we basically had a marketplace ready except for design, because we both really wanted a professional designer to do the design stuff. But it didn't happen, and at some point we said, yeah, we're gonna wait for maybe another year or 6 months and do nothing, or we're gonna put this prototype wallet into something production worthy, and then maybe go back to that NFT marketplace. So that's where Linx was born. And in September, I think we approached Raul, our design guy. He said, "Listen, do you want to do some designs?" And we actually hired him for it first. And I was so amazed by what he did that, yeah, we asked him to come on board, and yeah, now with the three of us, this is where we are.
So it kind of sounds like the wallet was born out of necessity from another project that you guys were already working on. So it's kind of cool that you saw that there was a need for something and you're like, well, let's jump on it and let's build it, because that's really what the Kadena community is all about, is just the community stepping up to build the things that are needed for everyone. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
get in the let's get into the wallet itself now, and let's talk about some of the really cool features you guys are looking to bring to a wallet. Because there now that there is a few options out there, like the X Wallet does have a mobile version now. There's Koala Wallet. There's more wallets are starting to pop up. Let's talk about some of the things that you guys are going to be offering. And I must say, from the pictures I've seen, you made a very good choice in your designer because they are very slick and very
Yeah.
clean. So.
I know, thanks very much. That's really appreciated, especially by Raul. Yeah, I'm a really big fan of Raul's work. So he did an amazing job, and he actually improved also a lot of things we had in mind to do with the wallet, and simplified it to an extent that it's ready for the masses. It's ready for people who want change, and I think that's the biggest struggle we have right now is that us as we know the network and we're used to like selecting chains and moving funds around and interacting with dApps on certain chains, and for a lot of people coming from outside, that's it's actually a horrible user experience. And we basically brought in Raul, the designer, from outside, so he didn't have any experience with Kadena, and he basically nailed it in the chainless work. We already had like the the backend or the code ready that enables you to not worry about any chain anyway, but the way it should come to a user, it should feel to a user, should be like natural. That if you come over from like an Ethereum network or whatever, it should feel the same. You just should enter an address where you want to send to and go to an amount screen, set the amount, and even if you set max or something like that, it should send max. And gas related, it should always like make it really easy and effortlessly. And I think we nailed it with the chainless design. And of course, there's always an option for the user to use, like we call it advanced mode, and you basically have like the old school Kadena wallet style. You can select your front chain and you can select your to chain. And I think something awesome we did there is like you can select multiple from chains. So if you want to send a certain transaction to a recipient on chain 5, you can say, hey, listen, I want my balance from chain 1, 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I want to use those to send some balance to that guy, and Linx will do all the rest in the background. And I think that's one of the initial things we came up with, and I actually already thought about that way. It should be that way when I started Floppy Wallet. That was the whole idea, and it really comes to light now with the wallet, and I'm really proud of what we have got so far. And I think people will be amazed how how great it is. Though I would have to say, a lot of people, like I said, are used to dealing with these chains. So a lot of them will also probably say, listen, I don't have a problem with these chains, so I don't see the relevance in this wallet or whatever. I mean, there are a lot of more points I can talk about to prove the relevance of this wallet, which we'll probably do later. But um, so these people will probably not see the relevance of the wallet, and they will say, yeah, I don't know, for me it doesn't matter. But they shouldn't forget that once they came in for the first time in this network and they had to deal with it, they have to like uh, recover how they felt at that time about interacting with the chains and the transactions. And because I was overwhelmed at the beginning, I didn't know where to look or what to do. And a cross chain, what is that? And you so easily forget it once you get used to a certain ecosystem. But I think that part is so enormously important for people that are coming completely new into the network, and I think we really are unique on that one.
For sure. That's definitely one thing I always found with Kadena as well, was that, especially for newcomers or people coming from other networks, that 20 chains can really throw people off and confuse people, thinking like, like, well, what chain am I supposed to be using? Am I supposed to be using this one or that one? So definitely having an option like that's going to make things a lot easier for onboarding people to Kadena. That's for sure. And like you said, you're going to have the advanced option for the OGs that don't care and they just want to just go ahead and select their chains like they always do. So you're going to be able to provide the option to both worlds.
Yeah, fully correct.
Now, one thing I did read going through your articles about this whole chainless experience is and one thing that some people I know have called you guys out on and wanted more explanation on is the fee rate behind it.
Yeah, yeah, I can
I don't
explain.
know if you
I
want to
can.
explain a little bit more
Yeah,
about that.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Um, so there's a thing on Kadena that, and that's basically on every network. That's the same on Ethereum or whatever. Every transaction you do, token related or not, anything that needs to be registered on the blockchain has a fee, a gas fee. You need to pay to register something on the blockchain. On the blockchain, that actually is like normal. That makes sense. And that fee is usually in the standard token of the network. So on our network, that's Kadena, KDA. And um, what we're doing with auto mode is we actually let you pay in the token you are sending. So if you're sending KEDX, you will pay the equivalent of 10 cents in KEDX on as a transfer fee. And that fee is fixed. That fee will stay fixed for at least a long time in the future. And it maybe sounds like a lot of money now in relation to a KDA token, which is like $1. And so it feels like unreasonably high fee, but there's like a system behind it because there's no way in the network system or in Kadena that you can actually allow the user to pay transaction fee in the token they are sending. They always need KDA on their account, and especially also on the chain that they're sending from. If there's no KDA on the chain you're sending from, your transaction will fail, or you can't even send it because the wallet does a proper job of checking upfront if the transaction will fail or not. But in our system, that doesn't matter. You don't have to have KDA or whatever. You can basically only have KDX or KDS or whatever token, and you can pay your fees in that. And so comes the discussion. Okay, so why don't you use a gas station then? So you can actually pay for it, and I mean, it's not like the transaction costs are enormous. No, they're not. But we also think every user should be aware that interacting with a blockchain network actually costs money, and it's good to stay aware of that. So we decided to put this fee on, which maybe sounds unreasonably high in relation to the actual gas fee you need to pay in KDA. But there's like a reasoning behind that as well, because in the end we have like an income and outcome, or a cost and profit uh, accounting for each transaction. So if you make a transaction, we pay for the gas fee, you pay us a fee. This leads to accounting. We have to account for that transaction to the IRS and to our accountant and stuff like that. So there's like a minimal price to at least break even for that, because it takes like time to create those transactions lists, explain those to accountants, explain those to IRS, and we set that at 10 cents at the moment. So we're probably earning like nine cents or something like that on a transaction. And if you like look at the daily transaction amount, that's not going to make anyone rich. So trust me on that. uh, but it's like a neat feature, and it still like forces the user to know that interacting with a blockchain costs money, even though it might be very cheap. Because if Kadena is like $20 or $30, no one is going to complain about 10 cents transaction fees. Or when Kadena is $100, no one is going to complain about transaction fees. So of course it's like a difficult point. We are working on some things to maybe create something so there are no fees at all, and maybe have like some discount on swap fees or whatever by staking some token, or I don't know. We're thinking of things to actually improve that, because I um, actually paying the fee is not an income source for Linx at all. I mean, it can't even pay one person if it's like 1,000 transactions a day or whatever. So it, yeah, that's all I can say about the fees. I hope that clears it up a little
No,
bit.
yep. Now, this is only going to be an option for people, right? They're not going to be forced into using this system.
Yeah,
They can
definitely.
go ahead and pay the fees themselves normally, like they
Yeah,
always would. So it's not like you're forcing people to use this option, because and another thing people don't realize when it comes to, so if you're doing a chainless experience, just let's just say I'm sending KDA, just regular KDA, from chain 1 to chain 5. Most people don't understand that that involves two transactions. People
yeah,
don't realize that, there's the sent, when you send it, it sends it out, and then there's another, and it pretty much burns the token on one end and then sends it on another transaction that finishes to the other chain, which is why they have that whole transfer tool for people pushing through their transactions and things like that. So you guys are pretty
yeah.
much taking all of that into the back end and doing it yourselves.
Yes, 100%. And of course, there's an option to not pay any fee and only pay the gas cost, and that's the advanced mode. The advanced mode in our wallet is always gas fee only. So when you go to like send, it will always default to the auto mode to make it easy for you. On the top, you can easily click advanced mode. You can select your change from. You can select your change to, and you can send it, and you will get a preview with the actual or the expected gas cost, and you can set your gas limit, and you can set your gas price, and then send it manually.
Great. Any thoughts when it comes to design? One thing I always find with wallets and blockchain that's very important is education about how things work. So let's say I download Linx Wallet and I go to use it for the first time. Are you going to have any kind of like educational prompts or things that say, hey, check out this feature, check out that feature?
Yeah, not necessarily building in the wallet at the moment, because yeah, we're in beta stage, but there's definitely gonna be like video tutorials, and there will probably be like there are some pointers in the app that explain some stuff, but basically it should work on its own. It's so stupid friendly that it doesn't need a lot of explanation. Let's put it like that.
Great, because I find the simpler you make it for people, the better, of course.
Yeah, yeah, agree.
So besides this chainless experience, which I feel is going to be a big feature for you guys, let's talk about some of the other features that you're looking to bring in. You're going to have in-app swaps and, of course, in-app fiat providers. Now, can you discuss at all about who you're working with for these options? Because there's a few different options out there for fiat providers, and we have a few different dexes now available. So have you been in talks with anyone? Can you divulge any of that information?
Yeah, sure. I can. I mean, we're like a open company, and any question is a valid question. So I love to answer any question, and we love honesty, and we're always upfront on that, or we at least try to be as much as we can. Uh, so about the fiat on ramp, we actually pushed it a little bit back because we are planning on working with Transac, and Transac doesn't allow buying in the US at the moment for Kadena. Apparently, there's some legal thing Kadena needs to arrange with them to allow for it. They ask for some statement, and yeah, that I'm pretty sure they're aware of that. But if they're not, and someone is listening, please contact Transact so you can settle that. Uh, to be fair, Simplex we didn't consider because, in my opinion, and no offense, but those fees are outrageous. So we're pushing back the fiat on ramp until there's a good and clear fiat on ramp also for the US on Transact. But it's pretty much implementation is almost there already, but we're pushing it back. So when it comes to swaps, it's actually in my opinion even more exciting than chainless transactions. We actually support every exchange. We don't have any agreement with any exchange because all contracts are basically publicly accessible. We don't need any agreement with an exchange to actually perform a swap. So the swap is for, I think now 95% ready, and I think it's gonna be like brilliant in my opinion. This if people once people experience our swap, there's no reason to ever use a different swap ever again, because what we're doing is basically we're taking all the exchanges, we have all the rates, and we're balancing your transaction among all available exchanges. So to give like a really easy example, if I were to swap a certain amount of KDA on KEDX, and KEDX will tell me, okay, listen, this amount of KDA swap will lead to a price impact of 10% because your amount has a certain influence on the price of the pool. So because we're spreading this along multiple exchanges, and for example now we have like three we have Anadoc, we have KD Swap, and we have KEDX. And if they all have like similar size pools, it would mean that instead of a 10% price impact, your transaction through our swap will have a 3.3% price in the impact, which basically means you're saving money. So, I mean that is something that's not out there at the moment, and that's something that we actually figured out. I just finished the code that actually balanced that yesterday. So I'm extremely excited about that one because I had some ideas about it, but actually seeing it in action really excites me about where we're going, and I don't see any reason people will want to do a single exchange, will want to use a single exchange for a transaction, because there are like better options. I mean, if your price impact is like 0.01%, it's not going to matter much. But then Linx has still the chainless stuff going around. So we will present to you a swap, and we will present to you a best price. So we will look for you on what exchange your swap amount is going to be the cheapest. You can always manually select an exchange if you really want to use KEDX or use KD Swap or use Anadoc or any other future exchange that will be on the network. And after that, once you click like swap, it will go to a preview. We create the transactions, and if there are like cross-chain transactions needed to get your balance on the right chain, Linx handle that as well. And basically, within 2 button taps, you have the best price, no matter where your tokens are on what chain. And you're basically, yeah, it's crazy actually that you're basically saving a ton of money with swapping on Linx. So that is something we're really excited about, and that's gonna follow extremely quick after the beta because it's basically ready. And I'm really excited about it.
So that's awesome. It's pretty much a DEX agitator is what you're pretty much explaining, right?
Yep. With a chainless
Awesome.
experience.
Awesome. So let's talk about another thing that I've been reading through that you guys are working on, and that is called Poo. Every time I say it, of course, I'm gonna giggle. Can you explain a little bit about what Poo is, which, if for people who don't know, means proof of ownership? So can you explain a little bit about what that is and how you see that being something useful for the future?
Yeah. If you don't mind, I'd like to take one step back and talk about 2 other features that we're going to introduce with Linx. and one of them is actually about the article we wrote today on the KDLaunch implementation. That is, in my opinion, also going to be great. Do you mind if I talk about that first?
No, go right ahead, of course.
All right, all right. So we met with KDLaunch a couple months ago, and yeah, we could get along real nice, and we had some nice conversations and technical discussions and stuff like that. So we really said at one point, listen, there's not really a lot we can do together because we basically already do a lot ourselves, and they do a lot themselves, and interactions between a wallet and a IDO is not. I mean, it's not natural, I think. But there's one thing that we try to put every protocol in app. So the idea behind Linx is that it's going to be a super app, and you don't need anything else besides the app to interact with anything on the network. And so we discussed it with them, and of course the first thing that comes to mind is like putting KDLaunch on the app. So we discussed them with that if they would like that, and they really like that, and so we're working with them to get that done. And that's probably coming pretty quick after swap. That you can participate in IDOs from within the app. The only thing you will need to leave the app for is for KYC on the IDO on the KDLaunch website if it's necessary. And besides that, you can do anything within Linx. You can swap for KDL, you can stake KDL, you can claim your rewards for KDL, you can enter and register for an IDO, you can claim your allocation, and you can participate in the sale, all from within Linx. So that is something that's going to be really cool. And next to that, which is actually related to the pool layer you were talking about, is we're gonna work on the NFT marketplace inside Linx. So we basically started out with the NFT marketplace. We got a shit ton of work ready, finished, backend ready, finished. So it's basically, in our opinion, it wasn't worth it putting it in a separate marketplace online on a website, but it's also pretty useless to leave it behind. So we decided that after the KDLaunch integration, we will focus on integrating the NFT marketplace within the app. So you can actually trade Marmalade NFTs within the app, but we're actually also going to support the non-Marmalade NFTs. So basically you can hold and trade anything, NFTs, tokens, whatever, within our app within a couple of weeks, no, let's say a couple of months. One other thing about that is after that we will probably, or we will make a bridge between non-Marmalade NFTs and Marmalade. So any NFT this year will be tradable on Marmalade. So that's that.
Awesome. This NFT bridge you speak of, is that going to be something, for example, if I own a non-Marmalade NFT myself, that an individual can go and do it themselves and mint it over?
Yep. So one thing I really find shameful is, for example, the color block NFTs we had. As I mean, it's more, in my opinion, nostalgic than it is actually worth anything. But a lot of people, or a few people actually uh, spoken out that they would like that available now. It's pretty much not available anywhere, but it's there on the network. And if you have the keys for that, you can do something. So we will create a bridge so you can personally transfer your NFTs to a Marmalade standard, and you can trade it within our app or anywhere else that support Marmalade NFTs. And we're also open to work with this for like project holders. So if they're like NFT project managers or something like that that would like to bring over their collection to Marmalade, there will be a possibility for that as well. But it's mainly focused on users to easily basically bridge their NFTs to the Marmalade standard. So I think that's going to be pretty sick.
Now, this KDLaunch and NFT marketplace, are they going to be natively built into the wallet, or are they going to be kind of through
Yep.
like a dApp browser in the wallet? Oh, they're going to be native?
Yep. Yep. Fully, everything is native. There's nothing going through a browser. Nothing.
Awesome. That's very cool. So let's talk. You said that this NFT marketplace is going to involve this POO standard that you guys are trying to build as well. So
Yeah.
can you maybe explain a little bit more about that?
So the idea behind POO is that th- profile pictures is just a small segment of what NFTs can be. And I mean, in my opinion, I personally don't like the profile picture NFTs, but that's my personal opinion. It doesn't matter for what we're doing with the app. But there are like a lot more possibilities you can do with NFTs, and I think the biggest hurdle for that is actually companies that could use them. The step up to use them is too big. And for example, I'm looking at DNA, what DNA is doing with their jewelry stuff and things like that. That is really amazing because that brings other things to the network, and that's also, like, in my opinion, a form of proof of ownership. And you can expand that to so many different applications that we said, okay, what's the future going to be like? Is the future going to be like a new bull run with profile picture NFTs? No, I don't think so. Is the future is there going to be NFTs in the future? Yeah, I definitely think so, because I see some companies like moving forward and putting other stuff on NFTs. So we started brainstorming, like, okay, what are things you can do, like, with NFTs? And well, the simple things are just like having a concert ticket. Let's say I mean, I'm not talking about the very big concert uh, organizers, but let's say some small venue does some concert or something, and they're selling tickets. And if they're doing it online, and one of the big problems with ticket selling online is that there's like reselling going on for like 4,000% price rises, and basically uh, making it a non-fun experience. And NFTs are brilliant there, because with the policies and stuff like that, you can set maximum prices. You can say, hey, listen, every token sale there or every resale, there can't be a bigger price rise than 10%, or a fixed fee or something like that. And for those venues, it's impossible to easily step into NFTs. They need well, for Kadena, then they need a pack developer. They need someone that's specialized into blockchain technology. And we said, listen, that there's an opportunity there, because we work with a lot of providers. Like we work, for example, with Stripe. And Stripe is like a provider where you can get all kinds of stuff, payment providers, and anything you like, and they will provide it for you. And it's made so easy. You just make an account and you say what you want, and you basically get like a plugin that you can use within your own system, and set everything up, even though you have zero knowledge about it. That is something what the next NFT layer should be. And that's what we're focusing on right now with the pool. So we really want to build a layer where you can easily set up any project, and have like these kind of situations where you can say, hey, listen, I'm doing a sale of something, and when the people come in to actually buy it, I want them to show some QR code as proof of their that they have their NFT or whatever as a proof of entrance, and you can scan it, and our network will, or Kadena will send, hey, this is approved, this is legally owned, not legally, but this is, they own this NFT, this account owns this NFT, and they can use the Linx wallet, or even have like a plugin they can use in their own mobile app to incorporate this kind of stuff. And that is basically the idea of Poo. But to be honest, Poo is in a very early stage, and in the current situation with just 2 developers and 1 designer, not feasible is not the right word, but it will take a shit ton of time, and that's not uh, that's not ideal situation. So we're actually looking at that, but we definitely need funding to get there because we need at least the double size of our team to really make an impact and build something like that in a couple of months. Because if we're going to do it together with the team we have right now, I don't see that happening within a year. So I'm not sure that's worth it. And we still have like Linx Wallet, and yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's definitely we're thinking hard about, and we're really excited to start building about, but we also really need support for that.
I am 100% agreeing with everything you just said. I believe that the whole PFP NFT thing was the starting phase of NFTs, and where NFTs can go is absolutely wild. Like for example, your ticket idea. When I first heard about NFTs and looked into the technology, I was like, why the hell isn't Ticketmaster using this?
Yeah.
Like it would solve so many of their issues of scalping and all this kind of stuff. And then other great aspects, like the government could use it for medical records. Could you imagine having your entire medical record in an app where you can give your doctor access to them by just scanning a QR code?
Yeah.
Like there's so many different options out there that NFTs can go besides just fancy 8 pictures and things like that.
I mean, I'm personally convinced it's going to go there no matter what. And if you look at stuff like they're doing with the digital passports and stuff like that, I feel like that's going to end up in like some form of NFT. And if we want to bring Marmalade to a next level, we have to have an easy access layer, that every uh, routine developer or web developer or just a basic front end developer can use. That they can jump into a backend, they can set up their environment, they can download the plugin or use a script and just put it on their website or in their mobile app. And I think that is something we can really do, and we have like a vision for that. But yeah, like I said, that's something we can do without certain support.
For sure. Like you said, you guys seem to have your hand in a lot of pots right now, so it's time to just focus on get the wallet out and things like that. How close are you guys to actually releasing the beta? Can you say, like, I know one of the worst things to do in crypto is say a date, because so
Next week.
many things can go
Next
ahead.
week. Next week. We said today in the article as well. Next week it's ready. So it's ready now. We still want to test a few things, like put it really to the test before we're comfortable with actually putting it out there, and then we will put it out for the group we have in our close Telegram group, and hopefully we can. And that depends on the app stores. Hopefully we can push it very quickly after that to the general public, and after that push the swap behind it as quickly as possible.
Ask a
Great. I know I'm
So
looking forward to playing with it. If we got a couple people here wanting to ask some questions by the looks of it, if you're okay with that, we got Rick and
yeah,
both Rick
definitely,
and Action
I
bringing
just
on up
had
here. So Rick, if you
definitely.
want to go ahead.
thank you. I congratulations. It's very exciting. I'm very happy to hear the level of professionality and the in-depth programming and development work that you've done to really simplify this and onboard a lot of new newbies, I guess. So very excited about that. I just had a very simple clarifying question and wanted to make sure I understood properly. When you said that you would be able to do a swap from directly within the wallet, and you said that of course, if you had a larger amount to swap, it would have a greater impact on price. And you just wanted to clarify, are you saying that, let's say I want to swap 1,000 KDA and that's going to impact the price 10%, which is not correct, but let's just say that for easy numbers. Would it take 500 of that and do it on CADEX and 500 of that and do it on KD swap in order to limit the impact on price? Or are you just saying it would find which of those 2 or 3 or 4 dexes would have the best price and least impact and do it? You see what I'm saying? The difference, the nuance and difference I'm talking about?
Great question, Rick. Thanks. So how we do it is we look for the full transaction to reach the least amount of impact over all the exchanges. So it will go to like first the cheapest exchange. It will set an amount for that exchange. So it levels out with the next exchange, and then it will load up amount for those exchanges until the next exchange is like leveled out in price again. So it's actually it's not really complicated, but there's actually quite some complicated math going on behind it. And in the end, it doesn't just say, okay, you want to split or you want to swap 10,000. We have 2 exchanges. We're going to do 50-50, but because that's the least price impact. No, it can be that the first or the cheapest exchange has like a 2% price difference with the next cheapest exchange. So then Linx will first level out that price difference, and then it will spread out the remaining amount among each exchange. So after that, it will be like a level spread. Is that
well? Hot
something I
damn!
explained?
That's amazing. That's not just your
Yeah,
grandma's Dex aggregator. That's pretty badass. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy actually, because I had this idea for a long while, and yesterday I finished up the code to actually do the spreading, and I'm like, fuck, this is amazing. This is crazy. I didn't expect this actually. I didn't thought it through that much, and now I'm like, because I was doing some examples, and I mean, it's in some examples it can save like enormous amounts, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm really pumped about it.
Awesome. Great question, Rick. Thank you very much. Action, if you have something to say, feel free to take the mic, bud. Come on up.
Appreciate it, Chris. Sorry, I'm driving right now. There was a fighter jet going over my head. All right, Rick is a good dude, man. I got to meet him in person. He had no idea who I was. But let me tell you, what he came up to talk about is exactly along the lines of what I was thinking, too. It's pretty amazing that it can do that. My only question is, how does it work when it comes to gas stations, and what will front running look like in this entire slot? Because you're hitting up multiple places, and this transaction would be, let's say it's a large transaction. How do you prevent a little bit of this front running as far as gas is concerned?
You might be on mute if you're speaking.
Oh, you guys can't hear me at all?
Yeah, no, I'm there. Sorry, yeah, it closed. I'm not used to doing this on mobile. So, yeah, great question actually, because first of all, we don't work with gas station. That's one. You pay a fee, and from that fee we pay for gas, but we don't use gas stations. We actually use we pay for gas, but not from a gas station. We just pay from an account. So that means we're really like we can easily up or down gas limits or take them out at all. There are like some really complicated checks in behind it to make that work more reliable, in my opinion, than gas stations, which can be unreliable sometimes. About the front running, yeah, that's a difficult thing, because a transaction can actually be on multiple chains this way, or it will be on multiple chains this way. And there's no way to have a complete transaction fail because one of the transactions is being front run and the price changed too much. so it won't succeed. So in that situation, you would have like a partial swap success. So on the exchanges uh, where it actually was successful, you will have that swap, and the one where it didn't was successful, it will fail, and it won't cost any gas or anything or any fee for that transaction, but you will have to like redo that transaction again, and then Linx will recalculate which exchange at that moment is then again the most cheap. So I hope that answers a little bit your question.
It does. That's actually really helpful. Just knowing that I don't have to, worry. Because that's the thing. Like any front run with gas stations is the easiest thing because you're like, it's almost like sending your transactions through a third party, in a sense.
Did you
Awesome.
drop
Well,
out or?
yeah, I was going to say you kind of dropped off there for a second.
Yeah, it was really hot to hear, so I don't know if it was a question or or not, but
No, I was just saying that, like going through a gas station a lot of times means that you're transacting through a third party in a sense, which can definitely cause a lot of front running. So it's nice to know that you're not having to worry about that when you're swapping it, through multiple swaps at the same time using the wallet.
yeah, but don't forget there will always be front running possible, so that's like a thing. But I mean, um, most exchanges right now, I think they have like slippage set to 5%, which I don't get, but in yeah, I I would never use that high slippage. I mean, I don't want to lose 5% on a trade, right? I mean, people are getting angry about 1% fee, but they're okay with 5% slippage. I don't get that. But yeah, anyway, I'd rather have my transaction to fail because I set my slippage to 0.1 or 0.2, 0.3%. I mean, of course, you're going to use higher if you're going to go into like a really small pool where it will be like a big price impact because that's risky. So, but uh, yeah, I mean, I'd rather crimp it down and have it fail like 3 times before it succeeds on the price I want. And in the end, the failed transaction is not going to cost me anything. So yeah, why not?
Awesome. Thank you very much, Action. Very great questions. And if anyone else has any more questions, feel free to send in a request to speak. But I want to thank Floppy for coming in and talking with us. This has been absolutely awesome. I've been, from working on a team that's also working on a wallet, we're always following along with the productions of everyone else. And there's enough space in this ecosystem for everyone to get along and have fun and build really cool products. And it sounds like you guys are building something very cool and very special over there that sounds like it's going to be a really good thing for not just existing KDA users, but for onboarding new users. So thank you very much for coming and talking all about this. It's been really great.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a blast being here. I have to honestly say it's been a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning because I'm used to like doing video chats and video calls, and now I'm just staring at the screen of my phone, and it's yeah, I don't know. It just feels a little bit weird, but it's okay now. But yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me the room to explain what we're doing and what we're going to do. And I'm really excited, and I hope we can get the support of a lot of people, and I hope Kadena can support us. And then yeah, we can make this a great year, I think.
Awesome. Well, make sure everyone listening goes and checks out Linx Wallet. Give their Twitter a follow. Join all of their social medias. Are you guys still accepting signups at all for the beta, or is that fully closed?
No, it's still running until we launch the beta. You can still sign up for the beta.
Awesome. So sign up for that beta, folks. Get in, get your hands on these wallets and give them a try out because that's what they need. They need people giving their involvement, giving their word, giving their feedback because that's just going to improve everything overall. So make sure you guys go and check them out. So thanks again, Floppy, for joining us and for Action and Rick stepping up and asking some really awesome questions. Hopefully we can do this again, maybe like another month or two down the road once you guys are through your beta and are getting ready for release. We can come back and chat again, maybe do a video one on Discord if you'd be more comfortable with that.
Yeah, or YouTube or whatever. I prefer video. I mean, it feels like more personal. I'm not used to this. Maybe I'm just being old, but Yeah, anyway, it was great. Thanks, Rick and Action, for the questions. It's really good questions. Love it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening, and take care. And like I said, follow Linx Wallet. Go and sign up for the beta before it gets released next week and get your hands on this new up-and-coming wallet. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and take care.
Thanks. Enjoy your weekend all.
That wraps up another amazing AMA. Thank you for listening. Here at KPN, we strive to bring an open platform for projects being built on Kadena to present themselves to the community. Please ensure to do your own research on each project before investing. Also ensure to follow us on all our social media, from Twitter to subscribing to our weekly newsletter, to ensure to keep up to date on everything KDA related. You can find all the links in the description below. Take care.